Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, if you're new here. If you're not, thank you very much for stopping back by. I talk about money, and this is going to be my first 2023 look at my money video. So I want to get into my annual budget with you, but first I do want to go over some things I think I could do better. So we will dive in with my little money mishap sheet here. It's nothing special. I'll delete it later, but here we go. First and foremost, in 2022, I feel that I didn't do a good job looking at my budget from an annual perspective. I never really took that step back to be like, yeah, I need to meet these goals. I do have annual goals. So, I was almost there, but this year I really took some time to look at the annual budget and how those shifting priorities are going to look throughout the different months. And I think this is really helpful for me. I don't know if it's helpful for everybody, but for me, I feel really good about it. Next, my third paycheck months happens twice a year. I always use them as like a bonus. This year I am planning ahead to use them very specifically. So that's one thing I wanted to do. The next two are this is why I lost money in 2022. So the first one is I didn't cancel subscriptions quick enough. I mean, I was absolutely abysmal at getting to that, and I lost some money doing it. I got some refunds because some of the companies were really nice, but some of them were yeah, it's been days, girl, no. And I'm like, I'm sorry, thank you. So anyway, I'm going to use phone reminders to get my life together with subscriptions. Impulse buying, clothes. This is a big one. I have a plan to limit my color palette because those clearance racks, that's where it gets me. The clearance racks have $2 shirts, but they're pink. No, girl, no, you don't even wear pink. So we're gonna limit the color palette to black and dark gray and charcoal, that kind of wheelhouse. And it's gonna match everything. Those are the things I consistently pull from my closet to actually wear on a daily basis. So I think that will help me with these clearance rack nightmares, because then I'll be like, not black, can't get it. That's the plan. That's where my head's at with it. So we'll see. Next up, the last couple of years, I have not tracked my miscellaneous, personal, and gift spending very well, especially the miscellaneous and personal, because what I was doing was putting a comment in the spreadsheet of what it was, where I bought it, and how much it was. That is not good because it makes it very difficult to go back and look at the year as a whole and see any trends. And I like to look at the trends. So this year I am improving upon this by creating 3 separate expense tracking sheets. These are going to be annual, so I'll always be tracking them throughout the year. Probably won't show them other than this video because not that important. But then at the end of the year, I'll be able to show you this is what happened through the year. This is what I might need to improve on. This is what I need to consider, all that. So personal one is pink. And then my gift one, I do even have a box for all the gifts I'm going to have to buy. So I can kind of think ahead and be okay, February, I've got this many gifts. And then miscellaneous, I also have this. So like I said, what I hope to do from these is just learn what my habits are. And then in 2024, I can maybe address those habits. This year, I'm not too focused on addressing problems because I can't really look at them on an aggregate because I don't track them. So that's what we're doing in 2023. And last but not least, the donut charts that are in my monthly budget sheet were useless. So it's because the income was never the same, so they can never be compared apple to apple. It was always apple to orange. So I'm switching it to essentially a 50-30-20 check, and I will get more into that when I show you my January budget with me and show you the sheet. So I'll bring that back up later. So with that, we will just transition on over to my annual budget here, and I will show you what I'm thinking because it is not how I usually budget. So I'm excited. Okay, with that, we're gonna get to the housing and utility section here. Oh my God, something is in the air and I am allergic to literally everything. Literally everything. It's making me so sneezy. I'm holding it in, guys. I'm holding it in. Okay, so most of my housing and utilities are all the same every month, but electric differs. So I did just use the 2022 numbers and round up to the nearest 5 for that to be what it is. And then in auto, it's the same across the board. In groceries, same across the board. And then for subscriptions, it's mostly the same across the board, except that I am planning ahead for my Disney to renew. It's possible I'll switch to Apple TV at that time, but we'll see. You'll also probably notice that Paramount, Peacock, and Netflix are listed here. And it's mostly because I want you guys to see that I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck. So my mom pays for those 3. And I pay for Spotify, Prime, Hulu, and Disney. And that evens us out for the most part. And we get to have all the things. So I'm really not spending that much to have a lot of streaming opportunities. And y'all, I just found out that in December, I used 195 gigabytes on my phone. So as you can imagine, I am streaming a lot. So this is important. I know, seems silly, frivolous to have that many because you could just like cancel one and like watch a bunch of shows on one, but I don't do that. I don't like doing that. I'm not going to do it. So there's my subscriptions. You can kind of see that. It also used to be my entertainment section. So if you're used to watching my videos, this is what was entertainment, but I was always saying, oh, it's really just subscriptions. So I just renamed it finally. So next up, miscellaneous, pretty much the same across the board. 75 for household has been working really great. Miscellaneous, not too bad. Like I said, I'm trying to learn what my miscellaneous expense tracking habit is. So we'll see. And then personal, I do give myself some leeway in December because after Christmas, I'm all, what did I not get that I really, really want? And so that's how it is. Actually, this year, I will say for Christmas this year, I got everything I wanted, like literally everything, right down to this adorable Flip-a-Zoo. It's like a polar bear, but it's also this really cute little husky guy. So he's very cheeky. I hope you enjoyed my show and tell of my Christmas present. But I just want to be clear, I got everything for Christmas. My boyfriend is the best person ever. He like really just wanted to show me how much he loves me, and he did. So anyway, moving along, debt. So this is where it kind of gets, this is where you can see my priorities shifting. So in the debt section, I looked at my annual goals and I was like, what do I really want to do with my money? I really want to pay off my car. So I budgeted to pay off my car. I'm front loading that goal because I just want to get it done. It also ends up aligning pretty well with when student loans are probably going to start asking for money again. So that's fantastic. I've got that listed here that I'll be paying student loans in the second half of the year. So around this June, July mark is when things kind of split, and you'll see that later as well. So in the savings section, I have my like across the board savings for my IRA. That doesn't change. But some of these other variable ones are like home, vehicles, vacations, gifts, and family. So for propane does vary a little bit, but not as much, and it's like a utility. So anyway, so home is a big priority for us this year. We've got a lot of projects we want to do and probably some maintenance, and so I'm hoping I can put several thousand into home. So throughout the year, what are we at? 6,200 for home is what I'm hoping to get into that throughout the year. So obviously the months that I'm like putting a lot in it are months that I'm bringing in more income than normal, but I do pick up the monthly payments around July. And the same goes for like vehicles. I'm doing a little bit every month just to make sure that when that registration comes due or when I need an oil change, I'm good. But then in July, I'm picking it up a little bit more. And then for vacations, again, same thing. Really picking it up later in the year because we want to go on a really nice vacation. And then we get to gifts. Gifts is where I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but gifts are where I struggle the most to actually budget the right amount. I love giving gifts. I know I want to give good gifts. I know I have baby showers coming up. I know I'm about to be Auntie Caitlin to one of my best friend's babies. And I am not only going to spend $35 on that baby. Like, you and I both know that. So I know that this line is wrong, but I'm just going to hope for the best here because there's no more money to budget. I'm really set on the other priorities, and I'm just hoping that I'll bring in extra money, basically. So we'll see. If not, I would just kind of decrease like vacation or vehicle or something like that. So it's not a huge deal. This is what I hope to do. But we'll see. We'll just see how it goes. We'll see. It's fine. It's fine. That's the only line that I'm like, I know I'm not doing perfect there, but the brain power it would take for me to like go back and figure out the gift section is just like, I don't want to do it. Okay. I've already done this whole thing. I'm not changing it now. I'm just going to leave it alone. And month by month, I'll deal with the gift section. Not a big deal. Family, $25 a month there should be good. I do want to do some cleanup, so I might have to rent a dumpster. They've got some furniture to get rid of, and it's just like easier to rent a small dumpster to dump like multiple big pieces of furniture. So probably gonna do that sometime in the spring, and I'll cross that bridge when I get there. And then for emergencies, same thing where it's kind of lower throughout the year. I'm still putting stuff in there just in case. But when I hit that midway mark, I'm going to start picking it up like crazy because one of my other goals is to get to a pretty big emergency fund. So about a year of expenses is like my ultimate goal. Like that would be like amazing to have. So right now I'm sitting at around 5,000. So by the end of next year, I'm hoping to be around 9,000, which would be really fantastic. I feel like after I get my car paid off, my main goal will be emergency fund savings because once I get that emergency fund built up, I really feel like that's when our freedom is going to start, and I can really feel like, oh, do I want to save for a house, or do I want to like invest in maybe a flip house or a rental or whatever else? I don't know. We'll see. But like the world will be my oyster once I have a good emergency fund. So very excited to see that 2023 looks like the year where I'm going to get to kind of transition away from debt payments and really focus more on building wealth. So that's very, very exciting. And then the last section here is just income. You guys can see I kind of have an idea what's coming in throughout each month. Bonuses here and there, but most of it, well, I just have a couple of bonuses that I know about. And then some extra paychecks a couple times a year. So that is kind of what it looks like. I am a zero-based budgeter, so I'm looking at this as spend every dollar you bring in. And that means like some of it's just savings. Like it's not actually being spent, but every dollar has a job, basically. So yeah, that's where I'm at. It looks like total that I plan to like use up is essentially $49,600 after taxes. This is what comes into my bank account. So yeah, I think that's exciting. I don't look at my budget on a gross basis usually. I've thought about doing that, but we'll see. So anywho, this is what I have for my annual budget. I hope that you guys enjoyed taking a peek under the hood of like how I figure out what my monthly totals are going to be, because this is where I'm going to be pulling those from. Like each month on February, I'm going to be like, okay, what does my annual budget say? Those are the numbers I'm plugging into my monthly budget. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. And with that, I will strongly encourage you to, in January, try to get your finances under control. If you are someone who has not yet dove into figuring out how to budget, it does take time to learn, and for some people it's not fun, okay? Like I'll tell you what, it's fun for me because I like hyper fixated on it for a couple of years, and now it's like butter, you know, I don't have to try, it's like comes to me, I know how to do it. But other people, they haven't gone through that period of like learning, and it is tough. So if you're one of those people, I just please start paying attention to your finances. The only person that can take care of you is you. So please do that, especially when it comes to getting some kind of savings going. If you don't have an emergency fund, start saving. If you do have an emergency fund and you don't have retirement savings, get a Roth IRA. Do your company 401k, whatever it is. Do your best. Even if it is literally $5 a month, do it, okay? Because your future self will thank you if you just try to save something, okay? Anything, something, okay? Okay, thanks. All right, good. We're good. Have a good morning, noon, night, whatever it is for you guys, and I will catch you in my next video.